Brothers, welcome back to another video and welcome to another episode of scaling a branded dropshipping business from zero to $3,600 in sales and showing everything, literally everything, as transparently as I possibly can. I'm literally showing you everything. So I don't know how much more clear I can make this, but hopefully by watching this content, you find it valuable and you're able to implement a lot of the things that I'm showing you that are working for me in real time. And really quick, this is again a store that we started on the 31st, $311 in sales. And we peaked all the way up to $3,600 on the 14th. And since then, we've just kind of been keeping it a little bit slow and steady. I am decreasing a lot of the budgets on the campaign so I can make sure all the fulfillment is good. I'm also working on increasing the average order value before I start to scale any further. And as you can see, that is starting to actually pay dividends. And I want to explain to you how I'm actually able to increase the average order value by 56% from $108 to $108, and share with you a couple of key things that you need to implement if you want to increase your average order value. Now, why should you actually want to increase your average order value? Well, 99% of dropshippers are going to attempt to try and make money by just selling one product. They think they can find a product, run ads, and that setup is going to make them profit forever. And the reason why you want to not do that and instead focus on trying to increase your average order value and maximizing how much profit that you make, or the value of every order rather, is because by doing this, you're going to be able to extract the maximum value of every customer, number one. And number two, on those days when Facebook fluctuates and the performance is bad or the CPAs increase, the higher your average order value, or the more, in other words, your customers spend with you on a first purchase, the more you can stomach those high CPA days. So let's say profitable CPA for me is 30, unprofitable is 50. Well, if my average order value is 70 and I increase it to, $108, all of a sudden I can actually tolerate a $50 CPA. And so the higher your average order value, or in other words, the higher the value that you can extract from every customer, think of it as almost like the more punches that you can take if you're in a boxing ring and you're going up against somebody. The lower your average order value, the less punches you can take, the weaker your chin, and the higher your average order value, the more punches you can take and the stronger your chin. So the stronger that you can stay in the arena and keep fighting before you have to take a breath. And that's kind of what average order value does. So let me show you basically the setup for this brand, Purify, and kind of how I was able to increase this average order value from $70. I raised the price and I'm getting people to actually spend more at a higher conversion rate as well. So we went from 1% and literally transformed it to 1.36%. So we're converting more and $108 average order value. So the way that we do this is very simple, guys. Upsells. That's it. That's the video. It's just upsells, guys. So what are upsells? Now, upsells are basically a way for us to offer customers or visitors additional products at the time that they're purchasing. So let me show you two kinds of upsells that I want you to try and implement, especially if you're someone who is currently, you've got a product that's converting decently well and you're not as profitable as you want to be, or maybe you already have a product that is scaling, but every time you increase the budget, the CPAs increase, and so then you have to decrease your spend. So what we've done here is we've added two upsells. We've got a pre-purchase upsell and a post-purchase upsell, okay? I'm not doing anything crazy complicated here. Only thing I'm doing is when someone adds my product to cart, I say, hey, here's this complementary product that goes perfectly well with my main product. Do you want it at a very good discount? Now, if you set this up correctly and you choose the product correctly, as you can see, I have almost a 90% conversion on this upsell, which means 90% of people who add to cart are going to add this upsell to their cart as well. So if my base product is $75, and I can guarantee at this point, 9 out of 10 orders are going to be having an extra $25 to them. That is how I get my average order value from 75 to 100. Easy. And what's great is you'll find on the majority of these kinds of products, like especially if you have, like in my case, you have filters that go with the product or other kind of smaller accessories, you can actually charge a lot more for those kinds of products and achieve a lot higher of a gross profit margin than your main hero product. So on my main hero product, I am barely scraping like 70% gross profit margin. And on the replacement filters, I'm clocking in like 85% gross profit margin. So I can actually charge a lot more on these, and the take rate is insanely high. So revenue per visit, meaning how much money I make every time someone views this pre-purchase upsell, is $21. So that's the first kind of upsell. Pre-purchase upsell, I don't see talked about like at all, but here's my setup. I basically say one-time offer, get 40% off, super duper simple. Then the next upsell that I want you guys to try and implement is the post-purchase upsell. So as the name suggests, this happens after somebody buys, because the best time to sell somebody a product is when they've already made a purchase. Think about it. They've already committed to entering in their credit card information, making the purchase. And so the best time to ask them if they want to buy something else is at an upsell, because their credit card info has already been entered. So all they have to do is make that decision, yes or no, do I want this? And if the upsell offer is good enough, it's something that's actually valuable, and it's something that goes really well with your main product, it becomes a no-brainer, right? And so what I have here is I'm upselling people a 1-year supply of filters, because I know this is a product where people are going to come back and buy more and more filters. So we say, okay, wait, get a year's supply right now for 42% off. And this is not a fake compare price. I list these filters for $39.99. And obviously, so if you want $39.99 for 8 of them, then 39 times 3 is going to be $119, I'm pretty sure. And then so 24 of them cost $119. And I actually this is a real discount. So if you go to my website, you cannot buy the filters for this price. So they get 42% off. And this is a $70 upsell. So imagine if someone buys one product, $75, and then they add another $75 to their product. And remember, my gross profit margin here is already upwards of 80%, 85%. So my profit margin is very, very strong, and I'm actually making way more in terms of a gross profit percentage than I am than I am on my main product. And now if someone takes this upsell, right, what you want to do is you want to offer them a complimentary product. Because if someone's taken your first upsell, very low likelihood they want to see whatever this is again, or very low likelihood they want to buy whatever this offer is again, right? If someone buys a year's supply worth of filters, they probably don't want another year's supply or even like another 8 or whatever. And so the correct move here is to offer them a complimentary product. Hey, here's another product that you didn't even know we sold. And here it is at a really good discount. Oh, and by the way, it just so happens to go really well with the main product. Now, obviously, I haven't converted on this. I'm not really focused too much on making this work. I just wanted something here in the interim as I kind of test things out. And then if somebody declines the first offer, I almost always will give them a more aggressively lower ticket discounted version of whatever I just showed them in upsell offer number 1. So upsell offer number 1 is a year supply of filters. If they decline that, then what I want them to see is basically a last chance offer to get the original pre-purchase upsell. So the original pre-purchase upsell is 40% off an 8-pack. And if you go on the website right now, you cannot buy the 8-pack for this price. So this really is your last chance. So this is for anyone. It's kind of like a catch-all, right? If someone declines the pre-purchase upsell, then I know I can get them to see this and see value. Because it shows, hey, this is the last chance that you can actually get it. That didn't even really make sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And so it's a very simple, it's nothing crazy complicated. And they decide if they want to take that to their cart. And then boom, there you go. That's it. That's really all there is to upsells. But the problem is that so many people are running stores and they're converting well, but they're not utilizing upsells. Okay. And why should you actually care about using upsells? Well, maybe you've heard of this company called Amazon. They're a little bit small, but they're definitely on the come up, and they actually implement a practice of upselling, and 35% of their revenue is generated by its upselling and cross-selling strategies. And so the reason why upselling is so powerful is because what upselling allows you to do is it allows you to get the same amount of value and extract more value from a customer without just increasing the price of your front end offer. So what does that mean? And why is that important? So normally, and I think we just got a sale. Did we just get it? Yeah, we just made a sale. So, so normally, right, if I wanted to achieve this average order value, right, if I wasn't upselling, The only way to do that would be to just increase my prices, right? Or how else would I do it? I could charge more for shipping, but most people, if they say, hey, I want to increase my profit, I want to, make more on every sale, increase my AOV, then what they're going to do is raise their price or charge more shipping or do some other type of add-ons. So what's great with upsells is that I can keep my front end offer the exact same price. So I can keep people in my funnel who are attracted to those lower price points or who potentially know about my competitors' stores who are priced at a similar range. And I can stay competitive with them, knowing that when somebody purchases, I'm going to extract the value from that customer on the back end through my upsells. Put this diagram together and this is something that we teach inside of Tier Ecom, which, by the way, we made it to the 10-minute mark. So if you are still watching this video, because I actually went through my analytics and 95% of people do not make it past the first 10 minutes, and it's like 98.5% don't make it past the 20-minute mark. So if you are here currently for this portion of the video, I want you to comment the word upsell in the comments below. Just comment upsell, leave it as a single comment. Don't leave any context. And that's going to confirm one of three things. Number one, it's going to confirm that your attention span is not completely fried from TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Number two, it's going to prove that you are an absolute G because you're in on a joke that 99% of people or 95% of people are never going to understand. And lastly, number three, the end of this week, we are picking one lucky person who comments that word to earn a free month's subscription inside of Tier Ecom. And keep an eye out for the community, my community posts on YouTube to figure out when we announce that winner. But we're going to do that at the end of this week on Friday. So comment the word upsell if you want a chance to win that. And I'll explain later at the end of this video why you should even care about winning that outside of the first two reasons, which, by the way, are more than enough, should be more than enough to incentivize you. Now, this is what a 10K a day branded dropshipping business is. And this is what we teach our students to build inside of Tier Ecom. And this is kind of like the noob dropshipping business. You do not want to be a noob, okay? Most noobs are going to run Facebook ads to a product page. And by the way, I'm not saying that in a disparaging way. This is what I used to do, okay? And it used to work for a time until dropshipping became more saturated and customers got more sophisticated. So what you have to do now, or what I would recommend you do now, is you build a slightly more sophisticated business, okay? And so again, going back to my example earlier, let's close these tabs. If I'm a brand that wants to make more money, let's say these are my current metrics, right? Let's say I have a $60 AOV, $20 COGS, $20 CPA, which means $60 after my cost of goods and my $20 CPA, I'm left with $20 in net profit, okay? Now, how would I increase this net profit number? Well, I could lower my cost of goods, I could lower my CPA, or I could charge more money. Now, what upsells allow you to do is they allow you to keep everything in your business the exact same and just extract more value from your customer. So you don't have to touch the ad account. You don't have to negotiate better terms with your supplier. Although if you do both of those things in combination with upselling, you're only going to grow this number. So there's literally no downside. But when you set up a funnel that looks like this, okay, when you do your Facebook ads and you send them ideally to an advertorial or a pre-sale page of some kind, and then you have a pre-purchase upsell and some cart upsells, and then after they check out, they get hit with upsell 1, and then if they accept that, they get upsell 2, or if they decline that, they go downsell 1 and downsell 2, and they go to the thank you page. What that allows you to do is, as you can see, let's say with our new upsells, and if you're picking your upsells correctly and you're selling cheaper items, complementary items, such as me, where my filters literally only cost me an additional $5, but I could charge $40 for them. Well, what happens is we take our average order value and we increase it from 60 to 90. Our cost of goods raises marginally if we picked our upsells correctly. So assuming that the CPA stays the exact same, we have more than doubled our net profit per transaction without increasing price. So typically, if you increase the price, that's also going to increase your CPAs, right? Because you're asking for more expensive conversions. But if you keep your base price the same and then just extract the value on the back end, typically, not all the time, but typically your CPA is going to stay around the same. And you're going to be able to extract more profit, assuming your cost of goods doesn't skyrocket exponentially. So this is the power of upsells, guys. This is why I believe everyone should be using upsells, because it allows you to extract more value and make more profit without any new ad strategies, without cost caps, without testing new creatives. You are literally just taking your existing traffic, your existing customers, and extracting more value from them. And if you do it correctly, you'll be able to make double, if not triple the amount of profit per order that you would otherwise. So guys, that's going to do it for this very, very quick video on upsells. Just wanted to share with you a little bit about what's currently working for me, and why I thought this was such an important video to make was because we had a lot of people in our group recently having issues with scaling because they'd scale, their CPAs would increase and then have to scale back down. But if you increase your average order value, like if your target CPA is $20 and you can't go past that at your $60 AOV, then just make your AOV $90 by upselling more. And then all of a sudden you can stomach more CPA increases. So that's why I wanted to make this video, and I hope you guys found this valuable as always. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoy seeing more and more content on this case study store that we're putting together. Really more so just building this for our internal members at Tier Ecom, just to show them, number one, that the course actually works. And number two, just to, keep myself sharp, keep myself in the game. But if you guys love seeing the content on the store, let me know in the comments below, because I don't know if you like these kinds of videos or more educational, kind of like long format types of videos. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it as always. And make sure to comment that special word in the comments below. I'm not going to say it now because I know a lot of people just end up skipping to the end, but comment that special word because number one, it's going to prove that you're an absolute G and your attention span is not completely fried. But number two, you could and you might just win access inside of Tier Ecom. And let me spend a couple minutes just sharing with you full transparency what you get when you actually join. Okay, so when you join Tier Ecom, you're going to get access to 3 things. Okay. First thing is the community tab. And this is where all of the public discussion happens. All of our community members are talking, sharing what's working for them, talking about different updates, sharing their wins. As you can see, Enos here literally scaled to his first $10,000 day, and then literally shared what worked for him to actually hit that result. So this is where everyone's sharing what's working for them. This is where I'm also posting updates on the case study store as well and keeping you guys in the loop on the strategies and systems that I'm using. Then you'll also get access to the classroom. Now the classroom, I've gone ahead and simplified it, and we've just, as of a couple of days ago, finally redid the entire Tier Ecom masterclass, which we are now just calling, in simple plain English, the course. And in the course, I teach you how to find a product, build your store, and then launch your ads exactly as I have done with our Purify store here. And so you'll learn how to do all of that. And I try to make it as stupidly simple as possible. You also get access to a bunch of other bonuses in here as well. And you can even unlock VIP coaching calls as well. Lastly, you will get access to the calendar, which is where we have multiple Q&A calls every single week where we jump on from 1 to 2 hours. And it is literally the equivalent of having me coach you along the way. And so imagine if every time you ran into an issue, you could literally ask me a question live, or even better, our community members who have been through the same challenges that you're going through and gotten past them successfully. You can ask them questions. You can ask me questions. It's one of the best places to get real-time feedback on your store, your ad accounts, and whatever the case may be. So if you want access to the community, if you want access to the classroom, with all of the bonuses, the full masterclass, in addition to all of the additional spy tools and the free coaching calls, then click the first link in the description to join Tier Ecom. Right now, we're doing a 60% off discount on an annual subscription. So you can join for the year and get 60% off. And so many of you guys keep requesting to re-enable that deal. So it's still live if you're seeing this video right now. So click the first link to join Tier Ecom. And just so you know, there is a 7-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it out. And if you hate it for whatever reason, you can literally get your money back as long as it's within 7 days. So guys, that's going to do it for me for this video. Tier Ecom, first thing in the description. Make sure you comment the special word in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.